So Ra said that the 10 commandments were given to Moses by a service to self entity or by a negative force. And then if you look at the 10 commandments, they are basically, at first glance, they look at something, yeah, well, this makes sense, this is positive. But then it's, at the end of the day, it's more divisive and more contracting. And I don't want to get into the details of the 10 commandments, but I just wanted to take this example and say that if I understand this correctly, that even the 10 commandments come from a negative force, that probably way more things come from negative forces than we think. And the trick is always that it seems positive, but then at the end of the day, it isn't. And my idea for this video was to say that probably most ideas that, that people come up with are a service to self idea. The most ideas to do something, be an activist, start something new, have a new idea for something, is probably a positive one. But then once it starts reaching a certain mass of people and it becomes a movement, then there's a high probability that STS will try to hijack the movement and make it a thing that serves their agenda. For example, the BLM movement is probably started with a very good idea to have equal rights for everybody and shine light on certain injustices. But then when it became a movement and they started destroying cities and beating up people, killing people, and then they also banned to say that other lives also matter, or they attacked people who try to have a more holistic view on things, then it's high probability from my perspective that it's hijacked. Or another example would be the climate change thing. It started probably as a very good idea to make people aware of pollution and stuff, but now that it's a thing where most people are just afraid, extinction rebellion, and just and they want to just mostly raise more taxes and lower CO2, which is good for the plants and stuff. There might be an STS influence. Those are just examples, and I might be wrong about them. But it's just, the idea is to always look with your own clear eyes and your heart and investigate, does this movement feel very positive and loving and inclusive, or does it feel more divisive and more fear-based? And the latter would be an STS thing, and the former would be an STO thing. So this was just an idea, because if the 10 commandments come from STS, the 10 commandments that are basically a pillar of Christianity, where people who love God and want to worship God and they want to live an honorable life according to God, if that is already from STS, then what else is, And so I think we are basically forced to be individuals who look at each thing with our own hearts and minds, and not just blindly follow something.